Hey there, everybody. This is Kathleen with Windy Chaos, and I am so excited to show you this newest kit. It's called A Currier and Ives Christmas, and if you're not sure who Currier and Ives are, they were engravers who printed lots and lots of beautiful prints. I don't even know exactly when they were the most popular, but they did a ton of like Christmas cards and just beautiful landscapes, and a lot of it's very country looking. So this is kind of my Christmas version of Christmas on the farm. So there's a lot of farm and country aspects, but it's not totally centric on the farm. So because they were engravings, a lot of times the illustrations are very fine line art, and it's just really pretty. So but it's that classic Christmas card look of kind of that turn of the century. It's just really lovely. And what I love about this kit is it's got color in it, but it's not overwhelming. Sometimes by the end of a season, I am just done with those colors. I don't want to see any more of that certain color palette, and certain seasons just have, St. Patrick's is green, and Easter is usually pastel, and the summer, a lot of times we look at red, white, and blue and stuff like that. And I'm kind of that way about Christmas. And then we kind of roll right into Valentine's sometimes. And my eye just needs a little bit of a break. But what I love about this kit is it's got a great color palette. But those colors are really accents to the illustrations. So let's jump in. This will be a little bit longer because this is a full whirligig kit, which means it's got all the bits, all the pieces. We've got patterns and labels and junk journal bits and Dutch doors and all of it. So I want to give you a really good look through. I have not counted up how many stickers are actually in this, but it's a ton. I should do that, shouldn't I? But here we go. The first page is just a little blurb about the shop with some links, and it also has your color palette at the bottom and the fonts that were used. Now, some of these fonts, you won't really see them a lot in the kit, especially these bottom ones, because they were used to make the numbers and stuff. So you're like, well, where's the spooky Halloween? You're not going to see a ton of the spooky Halloween, even though I love that font. And nothing really spooky about it. It's just a cute font. Okay, first we have our deco numbers, which are these beautiful bells with the numbers on them. And when it became double digits, I tilted them to go with the bell. So the single digits are just kind of popped into the middle there. And then we've got the dots, which is this really cute font here that some places it kind of extends past the dot, which I think it looks really nice too. Just bright and cheery. And again, there's plenty of color in this kit, but it's not overwhelming. Okay. And then these pages are, if you want to go and get the extras from Dropbox, you certainly can. If you don't care about the extras, then you haven't made your file ginormous. And just to know, I'm showing this to you in ZoomNotes because that's my favorite planner app. But this also comes to you as a GoodNotes file or a Noteful file. You also get all the PNGs separately, but they're organized and they're labeled. So if you're an Android user and you want to go into Penly or Zoto, it's very easy to find the files and put in what you want to put in. And I'll have a blank PDF that you can make into a sticker book. Now, I didn't do the shadows on this one, so you'll have to let me know. Do you really like the shadow bits, or is it just distracting to you and it doesn't all match up perfect? I find it a little distracting. It's kind of become a problem for me. I spend all this time making the sticker book look great. It's like, I'm wasting time. This is my planning time. So anyway, if you click here, the top one, it'll take you to Dropbox, and these are the things that are specific to the kit. Things that I've picked out, like this is that spooky Halloween font. So like in this one, we're looking at the numbers. You get all the numbers. In this one's King Things Exeter. There's the bells again, date dots. This is Tweedledee. This is just more of a little fun, cute one. But what I do when I have that, I'll push on this, I'll click copy, I'll go back to ZoomNotes, and I'll put it in here. And then I've got it for the next time that I need it. This gets a little junky, but it doesn't bother me. But you can always duplicate this page. If you wanted to put all 1 through 31 in here, you could definitely do like a split screen where you're on Dropbox and you're pulling things in. Or I personally think it works best if I do it, if I do this as under files, and then calendar items, numbers. Now I don't have them all downloaded, and that'd take a second. But then they're all in there and you can look at them and just pull over what you want. So that's what works best for me. But that's because my Dropbox is connected to my iPad. If your Dropbox isn't and you don't have it in the files bit, that might not be the easiest way for you. It might be easier to stick with just going through the link. Anyway, and then there's more options. Each thing has other, so these are all the different, maybe you want pink, retro style. That was from the road trip kit. But you have access to all of that because you have access to the Windy Chaos library. And so I'll go through and I'll be adding like these numbers to that library so that somebody else who doesn't buy this kit still has access to the numbers. And so there's dark ones, there's red ones, there's green ones, and I want to say there's a blue one. We have red and green and dark. Yeah, so we have 3 different ones. And there's the King Things. The green ones were the Tweedledee, and the red ones are the Spooky Halloween, which is a really fun one too. So you've got all those numbers that you can use in lots and lots. And these guys, I'll just show you too, they are a little bit transparent. So they look really kind of cute layered up with other things or themselves, So anyhow, that's that. Okay, next page. Now we have the deco days of the week, and they're on this beautiful banner, and it includes a weekend, and then we have it with this beautiful ribbon, and also includes the weekend. And this same format is used for the months, so you get all 12 months the same way. And then if you're looking for days of the week that are abbreviations or just a different format, this is just a little sample. You've got arches that are over, and then you also have arches that are under. And then we have, and they're in light and dark. And then you've got some that are just the initial, and some that are like FRI for Friday or TH for Thursday. So you've got lots of little options, and I love these circles. They make really cute layouts with the circles too. Like this circle with just the date dot in it is darling for the date. So, and you also, again, get to go into the library, and there's tons of different fonts there. Lots of different, well, it's always light and dark. So, but there's lots and lots of different fonts there. So, that just keeps getting bigger and bigger. All right. And then we've got the time bits. So you've got the numbers, 1 a.m. through 12:30, and you've got the same thing with the little arrows, which are a really nice way to, call out timed events on your planner. And then these are the months in that same deco. And then you also get the months in just straight. So this is in Engravers MT and in, I'm going to say it wrong, it's like Insala or something like that. And so there you go. If you don't want all the fancy stuff around it. Uh-oh, here we go. I'm sorry, my poor little ZoomNotes. Okay, and here we are at our first of 4 deco sheets that are just jam-packed with lots and lots of beautiful clip art. So we have these beautiful barns and that pop of red in them, just enough to be really festive. And then we have these beautiful barrels. We have these bells with the tartan ribbon. I have always been fascinated by the German candles. My mom has this beautiful arch that a friend made her. It doesn't have the little village underneath it, but it just has the beautiful candles on top. Love it. And then I had to try to create one of the candle windmills. I think it's so pretty. And then we've got a cart with lots of greenery in it. We've got the Highland cow. We've got this beautiful Christmas tree with the candles on. And this sweet little kitty cat sitting in the barn. And then these country lanes are just so pretty with the split rail fence and the greenery on them. A really pretty little garland. We've got a goat and a goose, and this beautiful lantern, a couple of horses. Then we've got these beautiful hollies. Again, that engraver part, where you've just got these beautiful outlines is so pretty. And then we've got these homes and the chickens. A couple more homes. You've just got some really fun options here. Then we've got this beautiful hillside and these 2 lanterns. And here are those great nutcrackers. I think they turned out so good. I love it. And then this little village scene. And then I love these 2 like Victorian style living rooms with the big tree and fireplace. And I love how it interpreted, I make these with AI, because there's just no way to do this volume of artwork, even if I was the best artist ever. But I love how the AI used the fact that I was trying to go for an engraver's detail to just create these perfect little outlines that are all frondy. And again, this one, I am in love with it. And then did these beautiful ornaments. Oh, and I did one little nativity scene here that's got just such a beautiful traditional look to it. We have some packages and this sweet little basket full of pine cones. And then we've got poinsettias in an urn, a really beautiful stocking with kind of a toile. And then these beautiful windows. I kind of went crazy. I thought I had to have all the windows. I think they are just lovely. And then we've got this wood stack. And then these beautiful wreaths with the scarlet ribbons. Okay. And then we have a sheet that is just all full of little fun sayings, most of them taken from popular songs. But I did do it in my merry and bright era. In the meadow we can build a snowman. In the lane snow is glistening. Later we'll conspire as we dream by the fire. I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me, which I thought was fun since we're all planners. Country roads take me home. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. Walking in a winter wonderland. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams, and believe. All right. And then we've got our labels, which you're probably super familiar with at this point. I do love, I think this is, for me, this is just the right balance of functionality and decoration, but I'm always open to suggestions. If there's something you really miss that you like from another designer, I can take a look, see what I can come up with that's similar but not copied. And you also get these really cute patterned labels. And the patterns are something we're going to look at here in just a minute. Okay, then we go into shapes. And the shapes are perfect for doing widgets and such. Now, I haven't made widgets yet. I've made some that are in the library from quite a long ways back, but there are some fabulous shops that make wonderful widgets. And it's just not something I've wanted to spend a ton of time on because honestly, I don't know how I'd improve them. They're just really good on their own and absolutely worth the investment because you use them over and over again. You find a certain little combo and it works. But these shapes are very similar to some other shops because their widgets are so good. I really wanted you to be able to take the color palette and just run with it. And use the shapes however you like. Some of them are darker and you'll want like a lighter widget on top of it, but some of them are, great for the black widgets and stuff. So there we go. And then we've got what I call little planner bits. You've got these little corners that work. These little gift tags I really enjoy using. I love putting a widget on these or just a simple checklist or something like that. We've got photo frames and photo strip frames, and then we've got some little scales that if you like to kind of track like your pain or your mood or your productivity or just in general, how did the day go? You can do that with these little trackers. This is a little pocket and it's kind of like vellum, so you can use it to stick some of the gift tags in it. Just make this the top layer, arrange everything the way you want it, and then pop this in as your top layer. And then this one is not, but look how pretty this is. If I put this over this, isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Okay, and let's go on. And then we've got washi. Now, I did a ton of different patterns for this kit, and I made them all into washi. So you have some narrow washi and some wide washi, and then you have some little solids too. So I love washi almost as much as I love fonts. I don't always use it, but somehow I just think I need it. Okay. And then we've got some little words here where you've got just some that fit the theme. So, of course, it's Christmas. So, you've got shop for gifts, then presents, shop for stocking stuffers, decorate the house, make sweet treats, send Christmas cards, and wrap presents. And then, if you're looking for some more planner words where the fonts match, they're in this font here. That's the Insala, which I know I'm butchering that. I don't think. And then this one is the Tweedledee. And so they're all in black, but they're like 162 words each time in the set. And then you can click here. This one will take you to the Windy Chaos Library, where there's a lot of fonts there too. So, and they're just kind of your generic, I don't want to say generic, they're your regular planner words, like things that you put in your planner all the time. Dentist appointment, parent teacher conferences, soccer practice, all sorts of things like that. And then we've got icons as well. Now, I don't put the icons on here because there's a bunch of them. And if you don't use icons, it will make this file really large and your planner will glitch up and stuff if you're just trying to do too much. So I put them in the Dropbox, and there's activities, there's basics, there's chores, there's just a lot of things. Sourdough, which I need to do today. And it looks pixelated because it's totally blown up, huge. But if I just push on this and I hit copy, I can go back into ZoomNotes and paste. And then I've got it. And so if you have like a set of favorites that you just go and get every time, you can just pop those in there and then they're there for the next time you want to use it. So there we go. Now these are the Dutch doors. And so I do them so you can have them on the left or the right. They're not completely sliced in half, so they're not matching halves, but they're the flipped image. Like this one, if I just told ZoomNotes to flip it on the horizontal, the words would be wrong. So see, the words would be backwards. So that's why I don't just give you the one, I give you both, because sometimes just the reverse doesn't look as good as if I go ahead and actually design it separately. Here's that windmill in front of the window, and you get all these beautiful little frondy bits. It just looks like a piece of, I don't know, like almost like it's on a doily. So, and then the this gorgeous, you've got the ornaments there. And then like this one, it's very cut out, but the wood stack is really pretty. And the nice thing is that as much as this is Christmas, it's also very wintry, and it's going to carry over really well for winter. And then we've got the waterfalls, and I tucked this little paper clip on there with the little believe on it. And then this one is super bright and cheery and just so cute. Okay, now we're into the junk journal stuff. And the junk journal stuff is fairly new to me. I really love it. I think it makes really fast pages that look so put together. So I'm not an expert at putting together junk journals by any means, but I wanted to give you some really great backgrounds, some really helpful lists, and some just cute tags and things that you could throw in. So we've got some bookmarks and tags, and then these are like cards. And then I took and made some little journal cards here where you've got the lines to make lists or write out your journal. Season's greetings, from our house to yours. Just this little badge. And then these backgrounds. Oh my heavens, I love these. And I'll show you how I used a couple. And how cute are they? And some are super, super like simple. They're basically just one thing, and you can totally layer up all your other elements on top of it. And I'm going to give you a couple hints and tips on at the end of this for some ZoomNotes answers on how can I get this to work in my, for my planner. So pretty. Okay. And then we've got another page of it. Another page. Yay. So we've got some ovals, again, another little card, and then these are like little pockets. And so you can just match these up to the edge of your planner and tuck little pieces behind it and just make it look so cute. And then these are like artist cards and more tags, and then you've got some little snippet words of joy to the world, all is calm, all is bright, at Christmas we're all kids at heart, peace on earth, and then these really cute little tickets and that beautiful window, and then you've got some more photo frames and a couple more tags. And then we've got some really pretty patterns. So I have 9 patterns, and then you get them in kind of a horizontal and a landscape crop, which makes them sometimes a little easier to work into just backgrounds. So let's just look at the 9 patterns. We've got this beautiful Christmas balls with these beautiful gold stars behind it. These Christmas bells, evergreens, plaid, poinsettias, snow, snowflakes, stars, and stockings. And then here we have them in the transparent, the texture. And these make fabulous backgrounds. I love using them. This one's a little hard to read maybe on the screen, but it's that snow, and it's kind of like reversed up. So I hope you'll like that, because I think that's going to be so good through all of like the new year and stuff. And then we've got our layout shapes. These are so fast and easy for making pages. You can crop them, use them how you like, but this again becomes this punch of color on what is a kind of a subdued pattern. And I'll show you how I used 1 or 2 of these. And I love to do kind of a planner shape. One thing I did on this, I didn't do the hexagons, but I just made a little bulb shape because I thought that was really cute. And then I did these for planner shapes that you can just use to write your days in or whatever. Oh, excuse me. It is early here. Okay, let me show you the mock-ups because I went just a little bit crazy. We're going to start with the rings. So there you go. Is that not cute? So I used a little Dutch door on it. And then behind that Dutch door, I did one of the little junk journal pockets with some tickets in it. But the whole thing, I just popped one of these guys on there. And it just totally changes the whole thing. I used a little bit of washi tape and cropped it to make it look like I taped down a list, and then just a couple of things here to block out the day. And I think that is so sweet. I just love it. So that is rings. I didn't do a second one on rings. Some of these I had to do. I know it's crazy, but I did 2 mock-ups on the portrait and the landscape because I just was so excited. Okay, let's look at portrait. This was my second one on the portrait. I had to use that windmill. I used that pretty garland, and I used, let me show you. I used one of these, but I then just went through and did pour. So I poured it by, let me go into style. Okay, there we go. There's color. So this was the color I picked up. I did this, and I picked up that color. And then I just filled it. Now, it's showing that there because I didn't have the border on there then. But then when it kind of joined them up. And so I was able to then just also fill with an image. And I did a copy of that little note paper and did that as the fill then. So that worked out really well. And I also did a fill of the snowflakes pattern. So anyway, sorry, I'm getting a little crazy here. I can't go into how I did each and every one of these layouts, but there we go. Anyway, I think that's so cute. So let me show you the first one I did. This is that window. Oh my heavens. I love this so much. I did one of those planner shapes again, and I kind of tucked it behind the window, and I just took the opacity way down so you could still see the star background. And I think it is lovely. I used the deco numbers and the deco days of the week there, and I can't get over how elegant and pretty it is. It is so pretty to me. All right, let's run over to the landscapes where I can ooh and ah for you there. Okay. This one is so fun because some of these things just matched up so well. Oh my goodness. Okay. I love this ribbon. I love how it just took that whole corner and then I just put the little date dot behind it. This lantern already had some foliage with it, so it just matches in there so perfect. And then what's so crazy is when I made this paper, it was this background as well. So the paper I just laid it right over where that was, and it just makes it look, I don't know, amazing. And then the kitty cat, which is so cute. And then I just took that little saying, in the meadow we can build a snowman, and I just took the opacity down on it so it didn't stand out quite as much. But it's lovely. I think this turned out so well. Now, this might be a journaling page for you and not so much a planning page when there's just one big writing area and not a lot of space for other things, but this works for me. But then my phase of life is different than somebody else's, and a lot of times my planning is really just what do I have to get done the next day. It's not so much lots of drop-offs and pickups, and I'll have a running day where I'm running a bunch of errands, but I have lots of days where it's just my to-do list. So, okay, and then this one. How cute is that? I did the bulbs in the background, And then I just did that simple circle, and then I just drew a little chain like it was going up there, and oh my goodness, that it was so fast and easy. I just can't get over how pretty it is, though. Guys, this is a Currier and Ives Christmas. I love it. Okay, so I promised you that I'd show you how you can use these backgrounds. So this is kind of the bonus moments. Okay, so here's 2 ways to do this. Let me pull up GoodNotes. And I do use, oh, sorry, my poor little iPad. I think I've just stretched it to the max here. Okay, let's restart that. There we go. All right. Yeah. There's only so much RAM, and you are just killing it with all of these crazinesses. Okay, so planner bits, and we're going to go over here. So on the rings one, it works out just fine to grab this and pull it in here. And there, because it's got nice little sharp corners and stuff, and I can squish it just a little to make it work. So that's how easy that is in rings. But if I'm like, let's say I'm in landscape. Oh, sorry, let me pull these off. Now, this is not going to be exactly the same proportions. Now, I could do this and I could have something pretty off to the side. I could tilt it. I could, just build up lots of ephemera around it and make it really cute that way. I could put a background behind there. There's a lot of things that I could do to make this particular background, this particular shape work on here. But if I really wanted to, like, say, stretch it out, let's see how it would look. It would get really skewed. It would not look as cute. Now, it's not impossible, but it's probably not ideal. You could do that. It would probably be better on something, say, like this, that's just a pattern. Let's see what we get. That's not terrible. That's not bad at all. The snowflakes are a little squat, but they're not terrible. But if I'm, say, in a portrait, let's try this. And let's say that I just want 1 page. So I'm going to pull this down. And then I can just crop it. So I could crop it right there to where I still get that little seam. Right? So that's an idea. But I was going to show you guys, I was playing with this with the Unbothered journal that's by Evelyn Zambria. And I really liked how it fit. I don't have it opened. So that's a problem. Planner Journal Central. Let's see. I should have left it up. I'm sorry. 2025. Let's see if I can search it. Not by tags. Nope, didn't like that. Or it's thinking. Okay, we'll see if it'll come up. I know this is getting to be a little bit too long. Oh dear. No, let's not do that. Oh, that's the download. Okay, here we go. Okay, so if I wanted to go, let's just do this. Okay, so she has rounded pages on hers. And here's how I would probably do this. Now this takes a little bit of finagling, so don't get frustrated. I'm gonna do it to right to the edges there, just making a shape. I'm gonna do it right to the edge there. I don't want the white to show. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to my sliders and I'm gonna do corner radius. And I'm gonna hope, there we go. See, if I go too far, you see the white. If I go back like that, it looks pretty good. And that looks pretty good there. Now I'm gonna go back up to my sliders. I'm gonna do image. And I'm gonna do, from GoodNotes, I'm gonna do a copy. And I'm going to do from pasteboard, and there it is. Now, I've got blue edges on here, and that is not what I want. If I do tiled, then I end up with multiple planners, and that's not what I want either. But if I do width, it'll go to 100, and I know this just from playing with it earlier. If I get to about 950, I'm in a good space. Now, I can use the slider on that, but I kind of have to roll my finger to get it to go to just the numbers I want. So about 950 works pretty well. Let's try 9. Yeah, see, I start to get... The only thing with doing this is I can't move it within the frame. So that's one way to do it. Another way that I can do this is I'm going to go back and I'm going to do fill and, oops, I'm going to do none. I'm going to leave it like this. I want the fill to be 100, like that. Now, if I take this and I put it over it and I stretch it out, I can stretch it, and this would not even look bad this way, but if I just wanted those corners to be rounded, because, you know, that would kind of maybe bug me, I can do this. I just want that to go. A lot of times when you're really trying to get it like pixel perfect, it's really about just zooming in. Okay, so I'm going to select my image. I'm going to go to my select tool, and then I'm going to go to my sliders, and I'm going to go down here. Oh, why is it? Okay, image. There we go. I think I accidentally had selected the shape in the back. And I'm going to do mask image. Now, it kind of did it. It kind of messed with my, because I had it squished. It didn't like that. And so my corners aren't perfect, but you could play with it and have it kind of work for you. But in this planner, I would either do the fill thing at like around 950, maybe 960, or I'd just pop it on and just make the corners square and say, okay, I'm not gonna fuss. I like the way it looks. So I would probably, and then the other thing is to just then, once you have it exactly where you want it, you can either click lock or start the next layer and lock this layer down. I've got a little bit of a white edge on there, so I would probably take this and do the tiniest of crops. Crop. There you go. There we go. Perfect. That's how I would do that. So happy planning, y'all. I hope you're super inspired. I hope you like this kit. Prices go up at the new year. So get it in 2025 if you can. If you're seeing this in 2026, I'm sorry, but I undervalued my work for a very long time, and I needed to get a little more in line with what other creators were doing on Etsy. It does, if your price super low compared to everybody else, it actually hurts you in the search. So I definitely feel like I've been maybe hiding out a little, but that's okay. I was perfecting my craft while I did, and now I just feel ready to unleash myself onto the planning world. I don't know, that sounds almost like a threat. Anyhow, have a great day, and thanks so much for watching. Sorry it's so very long. Take care. Bye-bye.